Hello, welcome to the AMC News Dispatch. I'm Kara McCarthy from the Public Congressional Affairs Office. Maintaining a combat-ready force is an absolute necessity, and as we know, equipment wears out, especially considering the level of current operations that we are doing. Resetting equipment back to its original state is a constant battle, but one that the Army Materiel Command is vigorously fighting.
Well, AMC is actually the manager for reset for the entire Army. The strategy is to bring equipment back with active units and have it reset in 180 days so that the formation can be reconstructed in 180 days if it's an active unit. If it's a Reserve or National Guard unit, that timeline is expanded to 360 days, but both those timeframes generally conform to the R4 Gen model that we have. What's the challenge for AMC is that some of the turn times for some of the redeploying units are actually less than the Force Generation model requires. So our MSCs are doing absolutely extraordinary work to have these turn times in less than 180 days. 1st Brigade, 4th Infantry Division comes to mind immediately, where we're basically resetting them in about 2/3 the time that we normally would.
Our depots are providing stellar performance in support of reset. For example, before the war, we provided about 11 million direct labor hours, and we are now operating at about 22 million. And we can increase beyond that if needed, because the depots are there for the warfighter and their needs.
Every one of the organizations have done an extraordinary job. AMCOM, particularly the Aviation STIR program, where every aircraft that comes out of the theater goes through a very rigorous teardown and rebuild procedure where they put in selected upgrades as well, so we minimize the time frames. When we started this reset program on Aviation STIR, AMCOM estimated it was going to take 120 days to turn around a UH-60, for example. They're in the 70 days range. The costs have gone down by 1/3, which are absolutely extraordinary. Our Humvee recap program, when we first started doing Humvees, the unit cost was around $65,000 a copy. And over a period of years, through lean initiatives, Lean Six Sigma, and a variety of other things, the equivalent cost today is about $52,000 a copy, and next year will be about $48,000 a copy. The funding that we have is obviously inconsistent because in a normal peacetime environment, AMC manages 3 big piles of money, as I would say. We have our OMA account, our PA dollars that come to us basically through the PMs and PEOs, and then we have the Army Working Capital Fund and the obligation authority associated with that. But because we have 2 different supplementals here on top of that, we have additional piles of OMA PA dollars that have to be managed and synchronized to make this happen. Our RM here, I mean, she has to be pulling at her hair because she has to cash flow to help accommodate our production levels with inconsistent funding as it comes down through the system. And she's done an extraordinary job. She and her staff done an extraordinary job to keep us alive and keep the funds flowing so we can do our job. Well, first of all, the forces that are deployed have never enjoyed a higher state of readiness. AMC has never failed in making sure that the deployed forces are fully supported and the deploying forces are fully supported. Other ancillary things that are happening is that over the last several months, we have pushed large amounts of equipment to key National Guard units with the hurricane season upcoming as it is. And so there are little vignettes like that all over the place. TACOM, for example, created a team that where heretofore we would bring all the small arms weapons into the depot, and there would be a downtime where the unit would not have their small arms at their location. They now have a mobile team that goes out and does almost all the repairs on site. And so the turnaround time to the unit is much faster, and the unit cost of repair has gone down.
Lean Six Sigma is another success story in accomplishing the reset mission. It has increased productivity and reduced costs.
Lean Six Sigma has been inculcated into all the depots. I would estimate that when I talked about back in 2002 doing 11 million direct labor hours and now doing 22 million direct labor hours in 2006, what's hidden in that number is that we are probably at least 15% more productive across the board. So we're getting 15% more productivity out of virtually everything we do because of our first rounds of Lean Six Sigma processes and initiatives that we've gone through. The real challenge is that you never let that stop. That's an ongoing process. And if you're doing it right, you'll achieve greater savings and greater efficiencies as you go along.
Well, this concludes another edition of the AMC News Dispatch. Thanks for watching.